guys, it's 21 Maxwell here, and it is finally the day we are at Bound for Glory. It does say it's Bound for Glory 8, but I'm pretty sure this is Bound for Glory 12 or 13, so that's a mistake with the database. But regardless, this is the show we're hoping to get a really good rating, we're hoping for a very good buy rate, and we're hoping to really benefit from it financially. And of course, post Bound for Glory is when we'll start to introduce more of the TNA talents at the moment, and we'll use the guys we've brought in to kind of put their overness onto some of the guys that are here already that maybe don't have quite the overness due to the database. I'm hyped for the show. It's a full 225 minutes. It is a 22 segment show. So without further ado, let's kick on, and as always guys, thank you for watching and I hope you enjoy it. So 10,000 sellout, TNA with a 10,000 sellout, who would have thought? The Gateway Arena. We've got a hype video going down, pyro goes off, and we head to the announce booth. We've got Mike TNA, Lenny Leonard, and they introduce us to TNA Bound for Glory. Mike TNA says, "Hello everyone, the day is upon us and welcome to TNA Bound for Glory." Lenny says, "Every championship is on the line, so many rivalries will be settled tonight. What a night it is going to be." Mike TNA says, "EC3 finally gets his so-called revenge on Rey Mysterio after accusing him of letting him down and stabbing him in the back." Lenny says Magnus also has an opportunity as he will take on one of TNA's latest signees. One of the biggest free agents ever in professional wrestling will arrive to face the Englishman in his kingdom. And Mike TNA says also Matt and Jeff do battle for the final time in a last man standing final deletion match, the proper final deletion. And he also says finally the TNA World Heavyweight Championship is on the line as champion Stu Barrett says he's only one bullhammer away from smashing the face of challenger Virgil Devitt. What will go down, we find out tonight. It's TNA Bound for Glory. So announcers hype it up, and that is a D plus 48 to start the show. All positives there, good start. We start the show with some X Division action, and about that had some subpar wrestling and a little heat. Phoenix was successful in defending his championship against Trevor Lee, Kenny Omega, Ricochet and Sami Callihan in 10:57 when Phoenix defeated Sami Callihan by pinfall with a Meteora. Phoenix makes the first defense of the title. A D plus 49, it's an okay start. Phoenix is getting better at his gimmick. Kenny Omega with a 52 performance, a 50 from Trevor Lee, 44 from the champ, 48 for Ricochet, and a 39 for Sami Callihan. This continues the X Division storyline. Sami Callihan improving on his performance skills, which is good to see. Negatives here, a few not dealing with going all out, and getting inconsistency for Ricochet as well, and for Sami Callihan, but overall, a pleasing start. Next up, despite being against the odds, Phoenix has successfully defended his championship. He gets the win, and the referee hands him his championship belt, which he raises to the crowd. On the outside of the ring, we see Kenny Omega kick the ring steps before walking to the back, shouting abuse at the crowd. Phoenix celebrate, and the crowd clap back and respond to him. So E plus 30, of course, we're still building the overness up of Phoenix, but he defends his championship tonight. Next up, About has good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. The BC defeated the American Wolves and Beer Money in 13:51 in a triple threat elimination match. The Wolves were out first, and then Beer Money, the BC make defence number 3 of the TNA World Tag Team titles. In terms of in-ring work, Bobby Roode was head and shoulders above everyone else. James Storm was a weak link though, and this resulted in a B-72. Great chemistry between Storm and Roode, got the crowd hotter. Both the Wolves with a 70 performance, 88 from Bobby Roode, 56 from James Storm, 66 for Nick Jackson, and 67 for Matt Jackson. It continues the tag team storyline. Pretty happy with that. I feel like I didn't want to make too many title changes today, so we've had a couple of championships which have stayed the same. So a bit of a shock there. It was capped for short match length. Not really many negatives there, but overall, pleased with it. Next up, we had the 10-man Chance Battle Royal. It featured Abyss, Akira Tozawa, Bram, DJ Zema Ion, Drew Galloway, Grado, MVP, Mike Bennett, Spud, and Tyrus. And it was a bout that had some decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, as Drew Galloway won the Battle Royal in 10 minutes and 30. The other members of the Final Four were Bram, Abyss, and MVP, Bram being the final elimination, and him getting also the most eliminations over the course of the match. This drew a C plus 66 rate, pretty good there. Tozawa debuts a fearless gimmick, which got an initial rating of great. Forgot we'd sign him to a paper appearance deal. So, nice little way to debut him. Bram was off his game, Grado was off his game, Tyrus is getting better his gimmick, and the match got the crowd hotter as well. So that's good to see. Mike Bennett improving performance skills. And a few negatives there, as to be expected in a battle royal. Next up in a poor match, which I'm disappointed at, Sienna defeated Jade in 10:47 by pinfall while using the ropes for leverage. Sienna makes defense number 2 of the TNA Knockouts Championship. The D plus 48, Jade not suited to her gimmick, the injury didn't help. She gets a 43, Sienna gets a 46, continues the knockout storyline, but we have to build them up. Sienna improves in flying skills, and I think the few negatives there definitely cost it. After the match, a small promo from the champ. She says, I hope every knockout in the back was watching that. Everyone, every single one of you had Jade down to win this match, and how that backfired. Now she can barely walk due to the damage done by me and that baton. I'm here to dominate. I'm here to take over this women's, or this knockouts division. So Carly, Miss GM, Miss Owner, line them up please, because I will knock down every one of them back down to earth, sister. So a D plus 49, Sienna continue to dominate the female division, the knockouts division. It's just a shame her and Gail Kim have awful chemistry. Next up, Adam Cole promo time. And he says, so here we are, tonight is the night where apparently I, Adam Cole, am going to get my ass handed to me by the destroyer Bobby Lashley. Oh, how this makes me laugh. This man is the wrong side of 40. This man is a failed MMA fighter. Me, I am the future. In fact, never mind that, I am the goddamn present. Lashley, you go out here and you fight alone. I know my boys have my back. What you've got to realise is this is a new generation of TNA. This is the evolution of TNA. It's not personal, you're just someone who's in the way of all of my opportunities. So what I will say here is, I know he's not over 40 Lashley, but it's kind of, the heel's just saying, you're old, mate. But a B-Mania 75, very strong promo from Adam Cole. Continues that I know it was you storyline. No skill improvements. Just a one negative from the announce team. And their matchup was about that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, and it saw Adam Cole defeat Bobby Lashley in 17:01 by pinfall with a flying crossbody, following interference from Kenny Omega. A C plus 67, that's okay. Adam Cole unfortunately suffered hip tendonitis. The match suffered from a little bit of a lack of psychology, so that's disappointing. Lashley and Cole both scored a 71 performance in their in-ring. And it continues the storyline. A bit disappointed that it was a C67, maybe we could have went for a B- there. Adam Cole improving technical skills though. Of course, the psychology is going to take it down a few notches, that's for sure. Cheers out. So then we've got a promo from Drew Galloway, who obviously won the Battle Royal earlier on tonight. He says, I have just been out there and proved to the world that Drew Galloway still has it. I have shown you all that I am refocused and I am ready, and I have defeated 9 other men to win that Battle Royal and become the new #1 contender for the TNA National Championship. So Shibata, Lethal, whichever one of you comes out of Bound for Glory as champion, I'll be waiting on Wednesday for Impact. So don't beat each other up too much. So a C plus 70 promo from Drew, as he hints at where his intentions lie post Bound for Glory. And the matchup itself had good wrestling, had decent reaction from the crowd, and it saw Oh shit, I've made the wrong person win. No! And it saw Jay Lethal defeat Shibata in 13:58 by stoppage when Shibata could not continue. Jay Lethal makes defense number 10. Shit, that has ruined my storyline. I have fucked up majorly there. As you can tell, Shibata was meant to win by KO and continue his run. I'll need to work on a storyline, how to fix it. Don't worry, no mistakes like that happen, and we'll get a storyline for Shibata coming out and announcing, we'll fix this. So Jay Lethal makes defense number 10 of his title. Shibata gets his first defeat, he's knocked out. I think I can work this into a storyline, so I'm going to take this mistake and I'm going to make something good happen. So B minus 74. Jay Lethal's getting Berry's gimmick. Shibata was off his game. Jay Lethal gets 74, Shibata 63. Good chemistry between them, and it continues their storyline, and the fact that that's the result of the match makes it a little bit more interesting. So, no skill improvements to speak of, and a few negatives there. We got to have made that mistake, but it might actually add a bit more, an extra level to this feud, so I like it. It's a mistake, but it might actually benefit me. So this angle means absolute horseshit, basically. So instead of Shibata knocking out Jay Lethal, basically here, we'll just say Jay Lethal's won the title, he's knocked out Shibata. Jay Lethal stands above Shibata and the ref hands him the championship, while the doctors and EMTs checking the condition of the fallen Shibata. Jay Lethal heads out the ring, championship in hand, while the challenger is slowly coming to his senses. So you can clearly see Shibata was planned to win. I've made a complete ass of it. Unfortunately, that's happened in such a big stage, but as I say, that gives me an idea. Literally, I've thought of the storyline already that I'm going to take out of this for the next pay-per-view. So don't look at it as a negative. People make mistakes. Unfortunately, it's a big mistake in a big pay-per-view, but I'm going to turn this into a positive. So C minus 54 for that there. I can't believe that, but we'll fix it. So next up, EC3 has a promo, and he says, when I first came to TNA, yeah, sure, I was reliant on a few people. My Aunt Dixie, Spud, Tyrus, and I went on a great unbeaten run. Became champion, times changed, and I evolved. I felt like it was time to branch out and go alone, but still trusting people. That was until I met Rey Mysterio. A legend of this business, no doubt. And then Rey Mysterio let me down. He couldn't handle the TNA workload. He got himself suspended, and that meant I had to look for a partner. And then Mandrews let me down. Spud let me down. And I proved I was right going alone, and that I should trust no one. So tonight the only person I trust is me, giving the single biggest beatdown to Rey Mysterio. After this, the whole world is in trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. So B minus 74, EC3 not suited to his gimmicks. I mean, you tweak that good promo, and it continues their storyline. Match itself, okay, could have been better, and Rey Mysterio defeats EC3 in 17:03 by pinfall with a 619 into apparently a drop into dime, whatever the hell that is. C plus 68, Mysterio was tiring towards the end. Really off his game was EC3. Rey Mysterio with a 65 and EC3 with a 63. Continues their storyline. I know you're thinking, why would I put a 40-year-old over EC3? It's going to continue the feud. It's not going to just finish there, and sometimes you have to give wrestlers who debut a win on their debut. So a lot of negatives there. At least the right person won in this one compared to the last fight. Next up, we've got a small hype video before the Last Man Standing final deletion match between Matt and Jeff Hardy. We document the feud and how Matt has felt like Jeff has continually upstaged him, and that Matt must rid of Jeff from TNA. We see Jeff continual reluctance face Matt before Matt screws Jeff out of opportunity after opportunity. This eventually has Jeff caving in and accepting the match, with the loser of tonight's contest leaving TNA. So let's copy TNA storyline, advances. Of course, YouTube is now PG, so I kind of have to tone down the swearing a little bit. And yeah, let's see how they do in this matchup. That's okay. In a decent match, Jeff Hardy defeats Matt Hardy in a last man standing match in 1756 when Matt Hardy could not beat a 10 count after a twist of fate followed by a swanton bomb through a table. Had to add to that there because my next angle. C61 as expected because of their in-ring performances aren't great. But of course, Jeff still has that overness. Matt took a crazy bump during the match. Jeff was reluctant to. Jeff Hardy is a 58, Matt Hardy with a 53. He is gone from TNA, so that storyline will be over. And a few negatives there for Matt, one for Jeff as well. So it's an unbelievable matchup that Jeff Hardy has defeated Matt Hardy, and as a result of this, the Broken One is now gone from TNA. The Swanton Bomb from the top of the ladder through a table had resulted in Matt not answering the 10 count. EMTs and refs are out to help both wrestlers. Jeff struggles to his feet, while the EMTs get the stretcher from Matt Hardy. They put him on a stretcher, and he still hasn't regained consciousness. He's taken to the back and put in an ambulance. Jeff Hardy slowly gets up. I don't know what it says, completely gets up slowly, and the whole arena claps him. He claps back before looking right down the camera and saying to the fans, "Thank you." So D-59 there for Matt leaving in an ambulance. He's fine, but storyline he hasn't regained consciousness. And that's how we're going to write him off TV. Next up, Magnus is in the ring for his highly anticipated marquee matchup tonight. The lights go out and on the Titantron it pops up the words, "Are you ready for it? Are you ready for the gift of the pyro goes off and it's Jericho and his new TNA theme hits. Descending from the back, arms stretched out, this is the rock star, the wrestler, the podcaster, the scarf wearing Chris Jericho. I know I signed Jericho in last year's TW7 TW2013, but despite his age, he is like 80 overness, and that 80 overness can help so many of our wrestlers go over. And I feel like it's just a sensible decision to make. Bringing somebody like that in can pass on psychology stats as well, so no brainer. A90 for Jericho's debut. Fan favourite gimmick, initial rating of great, and the segment deserved better commentary. But delighted to have Jericho. The gift of Jericho. Drink her in, man. Unfortunately, his match didn't click, damn it. And about that had some great heat and decent wrestling. Jericho defeats Magnus in 17-13 by submission. The Walls of Jericho. C64, similar to Rey Mysterio, you need to have these guys winning their debuts. Jericho was visibly tiring though. Him and Magnus didn't click, so I feel like when a match does click, the rating will be strong. Jericho with 63, Magnus with a 50. No skill improvements in this instance. And a few negatives there. Disappointing that already, like not even a year into the save, and Jericho's stamina and declining physical ability. Meanwhile, in real life, we're just coming up in October, or we're starting September, and Jericho is as good as he's ever been. Maybe in the ring, I'd still say he's good. He's not as good as he was, but he's still decent. More than decent, to be frankly honest. You know, he's evolved his style to work with some of these younger workers who have a different style from when he was coming through, and his promo work in this day and age is just nothing but spectacular. Next up, we're with the TNA World Heavyweight Champion Stu Barrett, just a few moments before his matchup with Fergal Devitt. He says, "Here we are, the biggest match in TNA's history, and it's all about me. What a shame to the millions around the world tuning in to see little Fergal's great underdog story. Spoiler alert, he doesn't win. I mean, look at him. Look at me. What chance does he really have? You at home are better used to the sight of this. Stu Barrett, TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I plan on making this place my kingdom and reigning for a long, long time. Prepare for me to watch me dismiss this mere peasant." There we go. We then cut to a hype package for the match, and we head ringside. Champion is obviously out second, so Devitt heads to the ring, but this is not the normal Devitt. This isn't a demon Devitt. This is just Devitt in war paint. He's ready to go. So B-75, the TNA storyline continues for the championship. No skill improvements, negatives just your announced team. And the match itself delivers very well, and about that had some great wrestling and great heat. Fergal Devitt defeats Stu Barrett in 1924 by pinfall with a flying double stomp. Fergal Devitt wins the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. So B78, I think it was a bit obvious it was going this way. Devitt with 70, Barrett with 74, and the championship storyline probably will continue. And we end the show, it's all over. The reign of Stu Barrett has come to its conclusion, and the man he had written off, the underdog in this match, Fergal Devitt, has become the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Barrett is helped to the back by some of the officials after this grueling contest, and Devitt, who gets to his feet, is gifted the title. He drops to his knees, looking at the championship in his hands, and now confetti falls from the sky. All the baby faces come out to celebrate with Devitt. Beer Money lift him up on their shoulders, and James Storm even gives him a beer. They all celebrate. Whilst at the top of the ramp, the BC stand, and they just applaud him. So that's an interesting turn. Why are the BC there? Obviously some of them are friends of Devitt, but a B82 finished the show there very, very strong. And as expected, a B78, the best show we've probably had, increased their popularity in every region. And I think all you can do is go Fergal and Stu for fantastic performances. So overall, if I just move this here before we do that, a pretty decent show. I'm happy with it. It could have been a lot better. Absolutely gutted the mistake I made between Lethal and Shibata, but hopefully we can turn that into a storyline, and I have a rough idea where I want to go with it, including the involvement of Drew Galloway. So we'll see what happens. And Devitt's pleased, as does Stu Barrett. We'll head back as we enter November now, so we'll see how we've done financially as well. So let's see. Feedback is excellent. We really struck gold with the show. Bombero Inferno has started a promotion. Okay. Jonathan Gresham's quitting CZW apparently. Adam Cole obviously suffering his hip tendonitis, so we'll find out about that. Dave Mastiff getting an injury as well. WWE at the same time had Hell in a Cell, which was a really good show. So Eli Drake, his contract's ending, so we need to look to renew that. That's fine, I can do that. Adam Cole wants a better push, so obviously he's come up better. Adam Cole was injured, obviously we'll look at that. Tozawa obviously needs to take a little rest. Spud's obviously been continually losing, that's understandable. A 0.35 buy rate, a 0.05 on television, 6k there. But the main thing is, it's nearly 600k profit, just under that. So good money made there, we're 4.6 million. We started off with 1 million, and we're continually making approximately the same profit every month. So that's good. Good better pay-per-view revenue here. We did spend a lot more on workers, and obviously a lot more are miscellaneous there. So I'm not overly disappointed. We've got a little build until Turning Point, which is 3 weeks away. As I say, it'll be definitely a turning point in how we handle the Shibata Jay Lethal situation. But overall, I'm happy. It was a good pay-per-view. And as I say, we'll see some of the more TNA talents breaking through now, as we've done Bound for Glory. So all I can say, guys, a few questions before these go. What do you think of the card? What do you think of the guys that won? Have you ever made a mistake as big as the one I have between Jay Lethal and Shibata, which has potentially screwed a massive storyline? Let me know what you think, and if you've done anything like that. But as always, any likes, comments, subscriptions are deeply appreciated. And from now on, if you're looking yourself to start doing YouTube, put a little recommendation of places to kind of plug your stuff, which will help you get noticed. The likes of the Grey Dog Software forums and the Fantasy Bookers Reddit are a great place to start. A great bunch of guys there, and it helps our ever expanding community. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. It's deeply appreciated, and I hope I'll see you for the next episode. The rebuild continues. Bye bye.